Welcome everybody today to the Gold and Silver Club Commodity Markets Outlook for the 1st to the 5th of February 2016, presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. So today we will of course be analysing the latest developments in the commodity markets. We'll be discussing our outlook for the week ahead. The live session will be covering an overview of the commodity markets. We'll be reviewing the top trades of the week, covering live market commentary, trading ideas for the week ahead, and of course we'll be answering any questions you have. Before we get started, I will introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is an international commodities trading research and advisory group. We specialize in the precious metals, the energies and the agricultural markets, and we are recognized as the leading go-to authority on commodities, as internationally respected experts on analysis and our opinions on metals, the energies and the agricultural markets. They're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, including Bloomberg, Reuters, Global Banking and Finance Review, The Wall Street Journal. Our team of experts has advised and taught technical analysis, fundamental research and portfolio management to more than 75,000 private traders worldwide. So for more information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please do visit our website, which is just www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. So we'll move over and we'll have a look at the price of gold. Gold is currently trading at 1,123 US dollars an ounce and 40 cents. So we do actually have a trading opportunity on gold at the moment, which I want to talk you through when we move into the technicals. Before we do so, I'll just go over a quick recap of some of the top trades that we've had over the last week. Some of these setups actually and trade opportunities we identified on last week's session. So well done to you if you caught some of these moves. We've had some lovely moves on both oil and gold over the last week. So number one, we have had a lovely breakout over the last week and a half on Brent crude oil, when it finally broke through the upper end of its trend channel. Very strong close there, and it broke above previous day's high. It broke outside of the trend channel, and we've been in this trade. We've been day trading it. We've also had a longer term core position on this trade as well, which is currently running with over 640 points profit return. So it's been a lovely trade so far. For those of you who joined us on last week's session, you will know we discussed this very key seasonal influence that you tend to get every single year towards the end of January, where you see a bottoming out of the market for crude oil and you see good follow through as we come into February. So we've already seen that move, quite a significant move. Oil has now rallied over 20% in the last week and a half since we've entered into our trade, and it's continued to rally. Lovely breakout last week over Wednesday and Thursday after the FOMC statement as well, which provided us with another day trade opportunity. So we're currently sitting with over 640 points profit on this trade. So it's been a beautiful breakout so far on oil. Next trade that we also identified last week was a platinum setup, just on higher time frames. On the weekly here, you'll see we had a nice setup last week, nice rejection candle sitting at key support, broken close back into this supportive zone. Good follow through last week, just a quick trade up to the upper end of the trend line, 310 points return for a breakout on platinum for a nice breakout trade. And gold as well, you'll know we also had a really good trading opportunity on gold midpoint last week, just to take advantage of this rally. We actually reached the peak on gold last week just around the FOMC statement. We continue to surge into the close, and that is where we've hit our profit target. The buy there, 260 point return over that three white soldiers formation. So a really nice breakout that we've had over last week on gold as well, taking advantage of this nice move and this January effect move. Ultimately, gold now has broken out to 12-week highs, and it's also the month of January has been the strongest performing month on gold for over a year. So again, as we discussed some of the earlier sessions, we were looking to take advantage of some good upside on gold over the month of January for the January effect, which has definitely followed through very nicely. So for those of you who've been following our webinars for a while, you've also been at our live events, you will know that the January effect has indeed played out again. So what we'll do, guys, we'll go into the live technical analysis. Again, any questions or comments, let us know during the course of this session. So I want to start off with first, we'll have a look at the gold market. So we've in fact been traded into a trade, which I'll talk you through shortly, on gold just overnight here. So we broke above a key moving average last week, closed above that level. 1108 became the important resistance zone, which we tested several times, couldn't really close above it. We had tests of that zone, but finally last week we broke and closed above it, and also the 100 MA. And we built a base. What we were looking for, knew once we get towards the 200 MA, we get a bit overextended with the natural ebb and flow here that you tend to get with gold. You will get profit taking. We saw that after the FOMC statement last week, and essentially we pulled back down to previous resistance, which has turned into support, and we put out our trade alert on that for a break of the high here to get in to that trade. So all of our traders, which I'll go through with you shortly, which is currently moving nicely in profit at the moment, and we're targeting towards the upper end of the trend channel. So ultimately, we're looking for good follow through here with gold over the course of this week. If you look at the weekly chart, we did get a nice breakout of this pennant formation. We've got a double bottom which we put into gold over the month of December here, built a nice little base, had good follow through last week, broke out back towards the upper end of this trend channel, and I see a little bit more upside here over the coming week. So a few key points to note. So this weekend from the 7th, Sunday the 7th of February, we'll be heading into the Chinese New Year, and typically in the lead up to that you do see an increase in gold imports and an increase in gold buying in the lead up to that, and we see typically over this period this week we would expect more upside for gold. Now if we go over to the CFTC reports and we just have a look at the overall additional investments which have been made into gold over the last week, we do see there has been an increase. We can see also that hedge funds and money managers, they boosted the bullish bets in COMEX gold to a 12-week high. So that is the data from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. That is supporting this upward bias at the moment for gold. Now I will note that after this weekend, then once we see the Chinese New Year commence and we see that holiday period in China, we are anticipating a hard to be put into gold in the short term, which we see at the upper end of this resistance zone. Then over that period where you've got essentially institutions which will be closed for overnight trading or during the Asian Pacific session, after the 7th of February, we would anticipate that we'll start to see some weakness here in gold. So the rallies that we put in will start to consolidate and potentially we'll see a rotation lower from next week onwards. Now also keep an eye on platinum and silver too. So silver, I like the price structure of silver right now. We came back down. We finally had a close above this all-important moving average. We've had a rally back up towards the upper end of this trend channel last week, and you can see on Thursday last week, a sudden pullback DMA, but we held this very supportive trend line underneath. We're starting to pop above Thursday and Friday's high here. You've got a little indecision candle, a doji. We're starting to build up a nice little base here. I do see the potential, particularly if gold continues to follow through this week, for silver to also pop to the upside. And ultimately, if silver can get a break and a close above 1460, this is the zone where you could really start to base out with until go out to the higher time frames. We're coming off very significant trend channel as well on silver going back to 2005, where we could get a nice little boost out of this zone over the course of the next week as we head into the Chinese New Year. Now, another key announcement you need to note is going to be this week on Friday. We've got the non-farm payroll announcement, which will be trading with all of our traders at the Gold and Silver Club, which is typically an explosive move. We'll be looking to take advantage of day trade opportunities of that non-farm payroll announcement as well. So that is going to be this Friday, but there's certainly some short-term opportunities ahead of that statement as well. So the non-farm payrolls will be out this Friday at 1:30 p.m. London time, which will have an effect on the precious metals. Now I'll move it over to oil. And I just want you to note some key points here on oil. First of all, if you have a look at the much higher time frames here, you can have a look on oil and see we've come off major support sitting around the 27 US dollars per barrel zone, which has been provided a very strong level of support, and it's been right on time as well. So for those of you who've been following our sessions, you've been coming to our live event, you will note that we were anticipating a bottom to be put into oil the last week of January, and we were looking for follow through into February. So this has been a significant move already. Even if this was it for the move that we've had on crude oil, it's moved over the last week and a half. It's 20%. It's moved over 800 points since we've discussed a low being put in for the end of January. So you can see here that the overall move that we've had is actually over about 850 points. Now, we've been targeting the end of this channel in the short term. The real key point here was that we've got to close, a break and a close above May. You've got a V-shaped reversal pattern. We're definitely coming into a little bit of resistance from this previous support zone in December, which broke out to the downside as we started the year here in January, so that is going to provide some resistance here. But we're probably going to be testing that and sitting around this level over the next couple of days. If we get good follow through from this zone, we'll be looking for initially to hit the MA above, but then follow through from that zone as well. Also, any pullbacks at the moment to the lower end of this trend channel, which provides support if we see rejection candles the same way that we have on gold, we'll be looking to take advantage of breakout opportunities as well. If you have a look at the weekly chart, we close with a really strong weekly candle as well. Nice hammer setup on the weekly chart. So all we really need to do is get good follow through over the course of this week and continue to put in a bit of a base here into February. Now, we've been selling every single rally so far on oil going back to October, and also in OPEC. From that decision, we can see we've continued to see a breakdown in the oil market. Particularly, we had another opportunity to short at the beginning of this year, but we've just had multiple opportunities to keep getting short. This is the only rally that we haven't sold into on oil because of the occurrence which we see every single year, which we've again highlighting this rally which occurs every single year at the end of January and as you move into February. Okay, so we can see that occurrence, V-shaped reversal pattern, and essentially if we break and close above this neckline of $36 per barrel, we'll really start building up a strong base of oil as we head into the spring and the summer. So it's definitely one that you want to keep a very close eye on. Similar formation on WTI. We've also had a V-shaped reversal pattern, broke out the neckline, really clear symmetrical V-shaped reversal pattern, which is a very clear indicator on a market which is starting to bottom. You see this V-shaped reversal, which is where it gets too overextended to the sell side, and in the same way, the same momentum that took it down, it also equally rallies to the upside and capitulates. We can see that very clear V-shaped reversal pattern, which on a weekly chart is represented by a very clear rejection candle and a hammer. So you've got two of those 2 weeks in a row. So again, we're looking for more follow through, possible retest at the lower end of this trend line here, which could provide new opportunities to get in back in at a better price here for light sweet oil before we start to build up a base here to the upside. But we're still at this stage, we're not selling into these rallies right now. We're taking advantage of the seasonal tendency for oil here to really pick a base over the end of January and as we move into February. I mean, we've been asked numerous occasions whether we saw a bottom in the market to be put in October, in November, in December, and we've stayed very consistent with that. We look for a rally at the end of January. You can anticipate more downside right until the end of January, and by that point you no longer want to be selling into rally. Now let me just take you over a couple of questions just regarding gold, and I get these a lot, so I'll just cover these off actually with gold here. So the trade opportunity that we've got into at the moment. So essentially, let me just go through that the trade criteria here, just exactly what we're looking at. So if I just take you over to the alert which was sent out to all of our members today here, you can see we've got this nice breakout trade on gold, so our entry at $1,119 per ounce here. So we've already started to move really nicely in that. We've got a nice tight risk reward on that, looking for one pop higher back up towards the upper end of the trend channel, and we'll also provide updates on that as we continue to trade our stop loss on that and we continue to ride this breakout. Now these trade setups, they are emailed out live to our clients, so all of the members of the Private Traders Club, everybody got that alert number one when the trade setup was sent out just yesterday, and also the alert when that triggered today. So you would be notified every step of the way to make sure you don't miss that trading opportunity. And before I'll continue, I'll go through the grains analysis very shortly, but just to answer this question, which we get a lot at the Gold and Silver Club, is how you can access those trade alerts. Essentially, you can get access to the live trade setups that we provide during the week. Those are provided for all of our traders. They get every single setup gets emailed out at real time to our traders. So you get a notification via email that includes the entry, the exit, the take profit level of all of our trades, and you can just very simply log on to our Private Members Academy and look at the trade in more detail and look at all the levels. You also get updated with trade management on that once the trade has been triggered. If there's an opportunity to get back into the trade, if we're doing anything to change our take profit on the trade, any trade management, everything gets emailed out to you real time, which can actually save you a lot of time. So you don't need to be in front of the markets all the time watching the commodity markets, because you know you're not going to miss out on anything because you'll get emailed all of the updates, all of the trade setups, and you also get alerted to when the trade, once you've actually entered that position, and as well as the trade management on that as well. So super useful, absolutely. It's gold dust to a lot of our traders. They love that because it saves them a lot of time. We also provide a week ahead trading plan, so at the weekend we go through very thoroughly all of the markets that we're looking at, all of the management of our open positions, the trades that we're looking to take for the week ahead, including entry, exit, take profit on those levels as well. We also provide an update of any major fundamentals and also news announcements for the following week, talk through our strategies in a bit more detail, and any seasonality plays. That's great, just a half an hour summary for you to watch over the weekend, which really sets you up nicely for the week ahead. You also get access to all of our live trading rooms, so we'll be trading the FOMC statement live on Wednesday, which all of our traders will join us for. You also get access to our live trading rooms throughout the week, and those are all recorded, so you can also rewatch the recording if you don't happen to be there at the time to watch the live trading room. You can watch the recording straight afterwards, and also you have the opportunity to join the Master Markets training course. So as part of the private tradersclub.com, you get access to the Master Markets training course, and that goes step by step, module by module, through everything from our strategies to setting up your charts, the indicators, all of the fundamentals, the seasonality that we utilize, and how we adapt to how we utilize our strategies to swing trade, how we news trade, and how we day trade as well. All of that as part of a comprehensive program, taking you from absolute beginner step by step through the whole program, module by module, and it's great because you can watch all of that in your own time, so it's perfect just to really get a good understanding of the theory there as well. And of course you get access to VIP email support line at the Gold and Silver Club, any questions about the trading course, technical setups, or market related queries. So again, all that is just going to go over to www.theprivatetradersclub.com. So from there, you just go to the bottom there, enroll here now, ready to get started, and once you've clicked on that, you'll just get taken to our application page. Just make sure you fill in all the fields there, press apply now, and a member of our team will get in touch with you ASAP. So I get a lot of questions on that, and again, it's just www.theprivatetradersclub.com. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just move it over and we'll continue. We'll just go through now the grains here. So I want to just move it over and have a look at corn. If you have a look at corn on the weekly chart, a few points to note here. So first of all, we've come right off a very key level of support and resistance. We've had a nice couple of rejection candles going back to 2 weeks ago. We identified these trading opportunities as well on this session a few weeks back. And you can see we've had a nice breakout to the upside. Corn essentially at the moment, it's still consolidating. We produced a bullish engulfing candle on Friday, but it's still yet to make a decision. It's just moving between 364 support up to 374 resistance. It's just channeling at the moment between those levels. So we're waiting for a confirmation, either a break and a close above resistance or a break and a close below support for the next real significant move here on corn. So we're just waiting for that occurrence. So right now, sitting on the sidelines with corn and waiting for the next setup to develop. If we move over and we have a look at the wheat market, wheat's still forming a nice little base. You can see here on Friday, we broke below an initial trend line, but we formed a new trend line on wheat here, which you can just very simply add to your chart. It's more of a short-term level here. You can see where we're getting support, and there's an overhead parallel zone. So whenever you're drawing trend lines, try and get a parallel level in as well. And you can see here, it looks like we're just going to rotate off the lower end of this zone and rally back up to resistance. Soybeans, we also saw a decent move just on Friday back up towards the upper end of its trend channel, but it's still stuck in this pennant formation where we're just ricocheting between support and resistance. So right now, we've come back up to resistance. We've got a pennant formation, again waiting for a breakout and a resolution. If we get a good breakout and follow through to the upside, I expect there to be some confluence here also over corn and wheat as well. If you would like to get access to all of our trade setups at the Gold and Silver Club real time as those trade setups develop, you can very simply just go to www.theprivatetradersclub.com. Members get access to all of the live trade setups, which are emailed out to you real time, and you also get emailed updates when those trade triggers. You get access to our live trading rooms throughout the week, and also our live trading rooms, you get recordings of those. You get a week ahead trading plan, you get VIP email support line, and you also get our Master Markets training course. So all of that is available to you as a member of the Private Traders Club. And again, very simply, if you would like to take your trading to the next level, here is the link there just on the screen, and it's just by application only, and once that's completed, we'll get in touch with you ASAP.